ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am Leslie Opiala. So my report is chapter 5, all about supply chain and logistics. So supply chain. A supply chain is a network of retailers, distribution, transporters, storage facilities, and suppliers who take up a part in the production, delivery, and sale of a product that convert and move the goods from raw materials to end user. So a supply chain, mo ni siya ang nag-distribute o nag-return o na nag-transporter into the kanang sakuan kanang mga product silbing nagtuyok siya silbing siya nag-supply tanan. Then there are the three key parts of supply chain, which are the supply, manufacturing, and distribution. So supply is focuses on the raw material supplied to manufacturing, including how, when, and from what location. So kasi supply mo ni siya ang nag-focus sa mga raw materials kung saan pag-supply at kuni manufacturing. So kanang si manufacturing sad kay nag-focus on converting these raw materials into finished products. And the distribution is focuses on ensuring that these products reach the consumers through an organized network of distributors, warehouses, and retailers. So this is CA, distribute. So next is the stages of supply chain, which are the customers, retailers, wholesalers or distributors, manufacturers, and components of all raw material suppliers. So important yun si customers, si retailers, at sa mga stages sa mga supply chain. So the benefits of supply chain is it bridges the gap between the suppliers and the customer. So naadyo yung gaps between the suppliers and customer aron makuan ag kanang inag-supply sa product ngadto ni customer. Then na sila bridge or gap ana lang duha. Then it helps manufacturers in reducing inventories as finished goods are stored nearer to the customers. So nakatabang sa manufacturers in reducing the mga inventories mga finished goods o mga product na na-stored adto sa mga customer. Then it allows firms to conduct operations at an appropriate time and place for the benefits of suppliers and customers. And effective supply chain results and enhance customer service as retailers get a choice of goods and also carry less stock. So supply chains make movements simple, cost-effective, and efficient as transport is simpler. So an expertise can be developed in a particular types of operation. So next is the Supply Chain Operations Reference Model or SCORM. It is a management tool used to address, improve, and communicate supply chain management, reduces decisions within a company and with suppliers and customers of a company. So kani si Supply Chain Operations Reference Model, mao ni siya ang kanang nag-describe on how the business processes required to satisfy a customer's demands. It also helps to explain the process along the entire supply chain and provide a basis for how to improve these processes. So there are the 5 areas of supply chain, which are the plan, source, make, deliver, and return. So the plan is unsaon pagplano, unsaon pagkuan na niya aron ma-achieve ang iyang plano. Kaning plan mao ni siya ang nag-determine the business goals on how to improve and measure supply chain effectively, and kaning most ni ang nag-align on how the supply chain plan with the financial plan of the company. Then kaning si source kay nag-describe sila on sourcing, infrastructure, and material acquisitions. Muna siya ang kanang on how to manage inventory, the supplier network, supplier agreements, and supplier performance to discuss their on how to handle supplier payments and when to receive or verify and transfer product. Mo ni siya ang source. Then kaning make, mo ni siya ang process and production in how to order or make to stock or kanang about production activities kanang sige unsaon niya pagbuhat or kanang unsaon niya pag-release ana nga production o unsaon pagkuan anang kanang product into supply chain, unsaon pagbuhat ang make. Then kaning deliver kay kanang receiving orders from customers and invoicing them once product has been received. So ang kaning deliver mo ni siya ang deliver sa mga product on how to receive the customer. Then kani si return kanang silbing kanang a companies kanang must be prepared to handle the return of containers or packaging or defective product. Silbing sila mo handle unsaon pag kanang kung naay mo kanang naibalik nila nga product or mga defective product nga gikan sa mga customer. So next is supply chain management. So it is the management of a network of interconnected business involved in the provision of product and services packages required by the end customers in a supply chain. Ang kani si supply chain management, maunis siya ang kanang is a set of kanang organization directly linked by one or more of the upstream and downstream flows of products, services, finances, and information from source of customers. Sabing kanang sisay network nga na nag-connect tanan sa mga business o nagkuan tanan sa mga management. Then under niya naa si Global Supply Chain Forum or GSCF. So supply chain management is the integration of key business processes across the supply chain for the purpose of creating value for customers and stakeholders. So kani si GSCF mo ni siya ang mga stakeholders nga nag-create of value sa mga customers. Then siya nag-process on how to across the supply chain into the customer or the value of the customer of the management. Then in the management, then the next Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals. So it encompasses the planning and management of all activities involved in sourcing, procurement, conversion, and logistics management. So kani si CMP mo siya ang council o mga professional nga nag-manage silbing siya ay sourcing o kanang mga kuan sa supply chain management. As you can see the figure, mo siya ang example on how to supply the management into the different manufacturer, into supplier, into a retailer, and a consumer. Ay, digi, ito ang business. So, makita ninyo, mura siya ka ng diagonal bit ay ka ng kung dito, murang pentagon na siguro ni. Silbing network siya. Silbing si consumer mo ito nga, nag-distribute siya, ang ato ni manufacturer, ato po ni retailer, dyan si retailer, ato siya ni manufacturer, silbing nagbalik-balik raag ka ng network niya, silbing nagkuan ra kanang nagtuyok ra. So there are the problem address of the supply chain management. So nadyo problema ang makuan jud ana, nadyo kanang mga challenge or mga struggles nga makakuan ana insaon pag-supply sa mga product or services ngadto ni kuan sa mga retailers o sa mga manufacturer and business. So first, distribution network configuration. The second, distribution strategy, kanang mga insaon pag-distribute sa strategy, nadyo na yung mga kanang kuan bitaw na defect o kanang nay masangit ana nga strategy nga di mahimo o di madayon og kanang distribute adto ni kuan retailer. So trade-offs and logistical activities, information, inventory management, and cash flows. So there are the three groups of supply chain activities, which are the strategic level, tactical level, and operational level. So strategic level is a network optimization including the number, location, and size of warehousing, distribution centers, and facilities. Muna siya ang mga strategy, the word strategic, mga strategy sa mga unsaon pag-supply, unsaon pag-distribute to ni customer, o unsaon pag-create communication channels for critical information and operational improvements into the management. So next is the tactical level. So tactical level is the sourcing contracts and others purchasing decisions. So, muna siyang mga taktika na mga decision kanang unsaon pag-operate nila sa mga product ngadto sa mga competitor ay ngadto sa mga manufacturer at sa mga retailer aron kanang ma-success ilang plano. Muna siya that focus on customer demands and habits. So next is the operational level. So operational level is kanang operation, the word operation, that kanang nag-operate na siya unsaon pag kuan anang product from production level to supply level, accounting all transit damage cases and arrange in settlement at customer level by maintaining company laws through insurance company. So next is the 6 major movement of supply chain management. So first is creation era. So kani si creation era is in the early 20th century, especially with the creation of the assembly line. Mao ni siya ang in supply chain management. It was the first coined kanang era by Keith Oliver in 1982. That concept of the supply chain management was the great importance long before. So mao ni siya ang kanang creation era. So kani si integration era, maun siya ang integration with the suppliers in using upstream direction and customers in downstream direction that achieve. In the word integrate era, muna siya. Dahil kani globalization era kay muna siya ang the third movement of supply chain management development. That globalization era can be characterized by the attention given to global systems of suppliers relationships and the expansion of supply chains over national boundaries and into other continents. So muna siya ang kanang global na jud nga nagkuhan siya sa tanan na siya globalization era nga nag-supply tanan sa to different country or into the other continent. So kaniti specialization era phase 1 where outsourced manufacturing and distribution kay mao ni siya ang industries that began to focus on core competences. So about ni siya sa mga competence kung saan pagkompetensya atong kanang mga ilang mga product adto sa mga and the other manufacturer into the other competitor. So next is the specialization era phase 2 for supply chain management and service. Ano siya ang supply chain management as a service that enables company to improve their overall competencies in the same way that outsourced manufacturing and distribution has done. So katong nga nahuman nag-distribute. So then it allows them to focus on their core competences and assemble networks of specific that base and the class partners to contribute to the overall value chain itself. So thereby increasing overall performance and efficiency. So ano siya ang supply chain management as a service. The supply chain management 2.0 ano siya ang describe both the changes within the supply chain itself as well as the evolution of the processes, methods, and tools that manage it in this new era. So kani si supply chain management 2.0 nag-define as a trend in the use of the World Wide Web that is meant to increase creativity, information sharing, and collaboration among users. So nagdani siya og kanang tabang to navigate the vast amount of the information available. Common attribute that Web 2.0 brings is to help of information available on the web in order to find what is being sought. So next is the business process integration. According to Lambert, operating and integrated supply chain requires a continuous information flow. So kani si business process integrations kay mo ni siya nag-manage to the individual functions to integrate activities and to a supply chain processes. So, kaning mga processes na sa ubos. So, under ani ni key supply chain processes, mo siya ang customer relationship management, kanang mga relation sa customer at ni management, customer service management, demand management style, order fulfillment, manufacturing management, supplier relationship management, product development and commercialization, returns management. So, the other key critical business process is the customer service management, procurement, product development, and commercialization, manufacturing, flow management or support, physical distribution, outsourcing or partnerships, and performance measurement. So, underneath performance measurement, kay cost, customer service, productivity measures, asset measurement, quality, and warehousing management. So, kaning mga processes kay kanang kuani siya kanang kuani ni Lambert o ni Cooper that operating an integrated supply chain that requires continuous information flow that optimize the product flows cannot be accomplished without implementing a process approach to the business process integration. So next is the logistics. So logistics is about getting the right product to the right customer in the right quantity, in the right conditions, at the right place, at the right time, and at the right cost, or 7 R's. Yung mga 7 R's, ano siya? So, as you can see the figure, pinaright siya pinahagi sa sa logistics. Kita ni customer service, ato ni purchasing, ato ni production planning, ato ni warehouse, naguman ato ni transport. So, din pinaright siya sa logistics. So next is the logistic management that deals with the efficient and effective management of day-to-day activity in producing the company's finished goods and services. So kani si logistic management, mo ni siyang kanang mga efficient o mga effectiveness sa mga product sa mga ato ni company. Living lahi ag kanang in this arrow kanang lahi is effective, lahi po nag efficiency ng mga product that produce the company's finished goods and services. So next is the difference between inbound logistics and outbound logistics. So inbound logistics, mo ni siya ang nag-refer to movement of goods and raw materials from suppliers to your company. Mo ni siya ang mga goods or raw materials that supply adto ni company. Then while the outbound logistics refers to movement of finished goods from your company to customer. So being ang kaning outbound gikan ni kanang company adto ni customer. As you can see the kanang figure below, purchasing and warehouse function communicates with suppliers and sometimes called supplier facing functions. So the production planning and inventory control function is the center point of this chart. So customer service and transport function communicates with customers and sometimes called customer facing functions. So by inbound to outbound. So by outbound to inbound. So gikan ni sod, gikan ni gawas adto ni gikan sa sod adto ni gawas. Then gikan ni gawas adto pud ni sod. As you can see the figure, the inbound is kanang mo siya ang sourcing. Gikan sourcing, order placement, adto ni vendor supplier, transportation ug receiving. So usa pa siya mo na-receive ni receiver, nagkuhan pa siya sourcing, kanang sourcing or for example ani kanang in Shopee, order of Shopee, so kailangan pag kanang sourcing or information aron mapadani mo ang kanang product, aron ma-receive na nimo ang usa ka product. Then kani si outbound gikan ni customer order to transmission to processing to sa selection to transportation to customer delivery. Kanang same siya sa inbound, but pero kani si outbound kaning gikan ni customer order, kailangan pa siya moagi og mga transmission or processing kanang aron makuan niya usa ka product, aron ma-deliver niya usa ka product. So ding siya mo pili sa iyang gi-order on how to select their product aron ma-receive niya usa ka iyang gi-order. So next is the transport and logistics. Refers to two types of activities, namely traditional services and value-added services. So transport and logistics mo na siya mga transportation na nabuhat at into the services. So by transport mo na siya ang mga air transport, mga sea transport, mga land transport, or mga warehousing, mga customs clearance. So into the logistics mo na siya information technology and consulting. You can see the figure, mo na siya ang example sa transport and logistics. Mas babaw mo siya international trade. Okay, kadua transport chain, the vertical flows. Na makita man sa yung flow nga sa international trade gikan sa origin into the destination. Unsa na siya, basta makita niyo sa flow mo na siya unsang pagpaagi sa mga transportation. So international logistics is focuses on how to manage and control overseas activities effectively as a single business unit. So nag-focus siya on how to manage kanang sa mga overseas, the kanang third party logistics or 3PL kay nag-refers to the outsourcing of activities ranging from specific tasks such as trucking or marine cargo transport to broader activities serving the whole supply chain such as inventory management, order processing, and consulting. Mao ni siya ang party nga nag-provide didn't have adequate expertise to operate in complex supply chain structure and processes. So kanang silbing siya kanang third party siya silbing tulo ka kuan iyang ma-process ay kanang na-outsource sa iyang product. So next is the fourth party logistics or 4PL. So refers to a party who works on behalf of the client to do contract negotiations and management of performance of 3PL providers, including the design of the whole supply chain network and control of day-to-day operations. Sa kanang 4PL mo ni siya ang kanang silbing upat ka party ang nag-work o nagbuhat behalf of the client to do the contract negotiations. So, naay tulo ka reason why customers would like use 4PL providers. Mao ni siya ang lack of technology to integrate supply chain processes, increase in operating complexities, and sharp increase in global business operations. So, as you can see the figure, mao ni siya ang upat kaning highlight nga yellow, mao ni siya ang 4PL or part logistics party nga kanang source sa clients. Naging gikan ni manufacturer adto ni logistic company ato i-package, warehouse, transport ato maadto siya sa market. So that's all my report all about. Thank you.